reaches his comfort point, he can be very impressive.
Sure enough, so we're going to picks and bans, and we'll see if you can pick up one of those comfort champions. Alistar and Gangplank, the first two bans.
And speaking of comfort, Wraith has been an Alistar main, up there with good old Gorilla this season, so understandable ban. Kalista making it to the bans this game. We saw a lot of Kalista last series, but returning to the ban list for at least game 1.
Yep. So what's the second ban going to be? Poppy. Okay, well, that's a pretty good champion to ban out, unless you plan on first picking it. Nidalee, okay.
We're going to finally see some Nidalees maybe later this week, with the changes mean that clear speed's that much more risky and a little bit slower. Again, still very, very fast on the clear, but we should see it eventually. He's likely to be the first pick, and Rise banned after seeing it in the last game. Seems like, again, Rise must be the story of scrims, because out of nowhere, Rise has seen a really big increase in priority.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Kuro with the Rise in our last game here tonight, and he did some damage, but it didn't seem to work out.
Pocket pick was too good.
Exactly. Yep. So what's it going to be for Samsung?
With a lot of tanky top laners available to be selected, the flex pick of Trundle makes some sense as a first round from Samsung.
Yeah, Ambition's had some really good games on Kindred too this season.
Comfort Graves also available, so
yeah,
maybe he doesn't have to actually select a jungle in the first rotation.
It's possible. They're going to lock in the Trundle. And what's it going to be for the second pick?
Ambition's Kindred in the last game against Rox Tigers, one of the most impressive carry performances of any player in Champions this season, so
yeah, definitely.
You definitely take the Kindred if it's available. If you defer to it over Graves, and given the skirmishing advantage that Kindred has compared to Graves in the early game, I very much like the pick. I think it's very solid, so good luck in there from Samsung, and they still show nothing with their first two picks, such as the flexibility of Trundle.
So what's it going to be for Longzhu here? I mean, they still could take, possibly the Gragas to play that into the Kindred.
Cloud
Elise
Templar
still available too.
I like the Cloud Templar shoutouts with the Skarner and Amumu.
Yep. Never forget. Elise and Maokai, okay.
Maokai with those magic resist per level buffs and the extra 2 magic resist at level 1, and the sapling buffs as well. They last up to 60 seconds now, so even better scouting-wise in a world where wards are on the lower. I mean, Maokai was basically pick man last week, and it's only firming this week.
Pretty much. Saw a lot of Azir in our first series of the night. Crown, of course, could grab that. Be a little bit early to pick it, though, wouldn't it?
Be surprising to see, just because he's such a great Varus, and they're setting themselves up for a last pick Varus if they don't select mid, but Azir's definitely the safer choice. It gives a counter pick to Cuvée, potentially in the top lane. It's a very powerful mid pick. We've seen so much of it. The hovering is certainly no big issue, but let's see what they decide to go with.
Yep. Might grab that Lucian for Core JJ as well. There's the Varus. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, Varus and Lucian.
And this is exactly what Samsung is known for. It's what I was talking about during the Rox Tigers game when they played triple AD and a couple of tanks. Well, that looks like the Samsung then.
Yep,
Samsung have triple AD locked in already. Will we see a Cannon last pick, though? The dream.
Maybe. I mean, it's tough to play Cannon as well as Smeb does.
This is true. Unless you're Snowflower, then you're pretty good Cannon support.
Yeah.
One day we will see Rox Tigers flex Cannon into the mid lane to confirm the full role flex pick nature of Cannon for Rox Tigers. That was not today.
Their final two picks over to Longzhu now. Need a support, they need a mid laner,
is it Zed
or theoretically an AD carry.
I want to see Zed.
Zed?
There's a lot of magic damage on the side of Longzhu. Zed has a good laning phase against Crowns. Varus. Coco saw some buffs on his favorite champion, his famous champion in Jace, so real chance we might see the Korean Sniper return.
Yeah, Coco's Jace is really, really good.
Oh boy.
And the Janna might be invading Korea finally. Nope, there we go, Bard. All right, I was worried for a second there. Jace Bard.
Coco's been struggling in recent weeks, though. His form has been low, and what better way to come back into form with the recently buffed Jace?
Yeah, Coco's Jace has been very good for a very long time. Taric would be hilarious. Probably not what we're going to see.
Just thinking of physical damage champions that could excel in the mid lane against Avaris, and that's why Zed came to mind. Obviously, matching the range wave clear with Jace is also an option.
What do you think about a top Lissandra?
It's Cuvé's best champion. He's really, really impressive on this champion in particular. They're low on magic damage. Makes sense to flex the Trundle down to bot lane. They have triple AD carry, so while you can self-ult and create some zones with Lissandra, it's not quite the big tank frontline I would have expected. And there's also, it's worth noting, the outside chance that Wraith will once again play Lissandra support.
That is true. Although having Trundle support works okay. You can just ult the Maokai.
But the big issue though is you've got triple AD and then no tank frontline, so basically you get engaged from multiple different directions and die. I think you go with the Trundle top lane. They have played Lissandra support already this season, but Lissandra gives them teleport flanks, and maybe you just take it in the mid game before the late game rolls around and the tankiness is less of an issue.
Yeah, well, they've got about 20 seconds to change their mind before that Lissandra Trundle positioning is locked in for what we'll see in game number 1.
Crazy to think that Lissandra support's even a consideration, but they have shown it before. So outside chance that happens. Otherwise, very much a Samsung comp. Looking for snowballing with the Kindred. But noting that Longzhu don't have any answers to the Lamb's Respite, no knockbacks.
It's true.
And it is Lissandra top.
I suppose they've got little knockbacks with like Jason Maokai, but not ones that are going to push you all the way off of that Kindred ult probably.
I guess maybe Bard could ult as well and just negate the healing factor.
Could be. Yeah, that's actually true. Well, there's our lineup for game number 1 between Longzhu and Samsung. Again, Longzhu fighting for their tournament life in this series today.
Two comps that do very similar things, both good at sieging, both good at doing turret damage. Difference, damage on the side of Lissandra, and just the tanky frontline with the Maokai.
Yep, that's right. And I'm really curious to see if Coco can do well again on this Jace. It's about time, right?
It'd be great to see. Coco's synonymous with Jace and Azir, and the Jace in particular, the Korean sniper, on the Rift already.
It's a squishy team on the Samsung side too. He could do some decent damage, but it is time, guys. Longzhu versus Samsung. It's battle for survival. Can Longzhu stay alive? Let's get in the game and find out.
Everybody wants to rule the world. There's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands.
온 세상을 얼음으로 뒤덮어버리겠다.
Already, welcome to Summoner's Rift. It is Longzhu versus Samsung in a battle for what could be some very valuable playoff spots, but again, can't be said enough. Longzhu basically needs to 2-0 every match for the rest of the season to make the playoffs.
I like how we're seeing two champions who are going to have very similar build paths, open very differently. You'll see Longsword and the refillable pot from Coco, but actually going to be the Sapphire Crystal start from Crown.
Wow.
Both of them going to be building tier, but Crown clearly wants it ASAP.
Seems that way. Coco maybe wanting to do a little bit more trading in the early game, I guess.
Different mindsets for what are functionally very similar champions. Big difference is you get line wave clear from the Varus, so when the minion wave is walking towards the lane, you can start pushing it, whereas Coco going to burst and definitely clear the backline very fast, but
yeah,
not quite as reliable as what Varus can put out.
Coco likes to get in there and be aggressive, though, as we've seen from a lot of his other champions.
And you were noting it. This is a 4-threat comp and a support Trundle, so those EQ combos. If this I say this Coco because that's what I think of Jace, but if this Jace gets ahead, the damage in the mid game especially is going to be titanic.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have a lot of ability to poke out Samsung if they're trying to siege turrets or something like that.
Well, you say when they're going to siege turrets. I mean, that's literally all this comp does, though.
Well, I meant like when Longzhu will, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, Pure gets a nice Cosmic Binding. Decent damage onto Ambition and Cuvée there.
Double binding. Very nice.
Yeah. Not bad. Wraith doing a bit of his own harassment down by the red buff.
Wraith actually exhausted Expression.
Wow. That's interesting.
That's aggressive.
I tried to go for that. Oh, he got one of the small Bramblebacks. That's annoying to deal with. Wow, Chaser taking so much damage.
I know you're not a big fan of the lane swaps, though, but doesn't it empower you to see these supports just wailing away on junglers and top laners?
See, that's the kind of thing, though, that only works in the pro scene. If you try to do that in solo queue at the level that most of us are at, and when I say us, I mean like me, you'll just get killed. Because the jungler in the top lane, well, first of all, there won't be a lane swap because it's like, you know, silver, gold, or whatever. And then when you try that anyway, you'll just because they don't care about farming to the speed of the other side of the game, because they're not going to be doing it either.
I just like seeing those strong, confident pro supports that can get in there and steal some experience away, get some damage in.
In solo queue, you just tell your AD carry to not die, and then you just roam. You become second jungler.
How does that work in Silver? Does your AD carry not die? Or do you just get enough kill involvements to make it all worth it, whatever happens?
Doesn't matter. I'm doing enough damage at the end that I can make up for it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Who's to say you can't build ability power after your sight stone?
Nobody. Who's to say you? Well, I suppose
Don't you dare!
You still build the sight stone.
I know where
all
you
right.
were going. Don't you dare start that, Doa. We've all been there.
What? No, I've been a big proponent of sight stone awards for a long time. Crown in trouble. Flash cocoon. Crown flashes out of it though.
Varus no
Close
flash.
call.
But he was applying a lot of pressure. Now has no flash. It's going to have to be very defensive. So Coco can be on the aggressive in the mid lane. That turret is low.
Yes, it is. Just trying to let as many minions bounce into it as they can.
One little difference between the two teams actually is that Fury, instead of buying the Cull, bought a longsword. Not clear to see if that was a gold value, but given the fact that he has a pink ward, it seems like he's prioritized a pink ward. So the AD carry is actually prioritizing the team game rather than picking up the Cull to get his own gold up there. So that's pretty fascinating to see, actually.
It's interesting.
What can they make with double pinks with support and AD carry? Maybe the safety means they'll guarantee more farm and thus it'd be worth it, but really surprising to see the AD carry in particular sacrifice his own game for Team Vision.
Core JJ getting plenty of farm up in the top lane. In the meantime, Cuvée wondering. Okay, so he's going to go up to top lane then.
Did you see that? He got 45 gold as he was walking to lane. Where did that go?
Who did Cuvée?
Yeah,
I did not notice, but that's interesting.
that was really strange.
I don't know.
Riot, please.
Just had a little bit. He stopped by the ATM on the way. It's like, oh, I need a little bit more.
Took out 45 gold.
Yep. Wraith coming down with ambition into Longzhu's jungle, but in the lane swap, it's basically Samsung's jungle at this point.
Yep, top side of the map, and this vertical lane swap goes to Samsung. At this point, of course, after the first swap. Nobody looking for extra objectives, although, just as I say that, the pings are onto the Rift Herald.
Yep, they'll be taking that right away, it looks like.
Kindred definitely duo this even with the support. Right, just tank it up. Pretty trivial. Such as Kindred. Lane swaps are so good for Kindred. One thing that people don't talk about is that because there's a lane swap for this Kindred, it means that she's going to be jungling on the enemy side of the jungle, and if you get a bit of favorable RNG, you're going to pick up those extra passive stacks.
That's true. Meanwhile, Longzhu just responds with the Baron, or not the Baron, the Dragon. Wow, it's one of those nights.
Okay, you were up early, just back from Los Angeles today, so the word salad starts early today, Noah.
Oh yeah,
Who knows what will be if this gets to a game 3?
it'll be something.
Very possible too. Longzhu, if it wasn't for the fact that they couldn't pick up a win, you know, with how big this series is, you have to think they're going to come in extra prepped, extra motivated to pick up a win. I would have thought this would be a fairly easy series for Samsung, but with all on the line, and as we well know, the quality of this roster is one of the minions decide to freak out. That's not actually there, guys.
Whoa.
Don't worry.
What's he doing? The ghost of minions past. I want to see that again.
It's going to be there for a while.
I
Those
think
bugs
so.
are pretty persistent.
Hidden features. The minion decorations. Install them in your lane. So really what's happened here is that Crown has basically installed the stuffed corpse of the minion he took out. He just uses it to taunt Coco now.
That's literally the only thing it could be.
Pretty sure.
I didn't realize taxidermy was one of the things that Varus can do.
Magic taxidermy, nonetheless.
What is it filled with? Because remember, the minions are only usually filled with coins.
It's filled with coins.
But then he's sacrificing his gold lead, though.
That's okay. Oh, Chain of Corruption used. Oh, Coco cleanses that one instantly. Crown trying to go for the all-in. Oh, he's in trouble now. Chaser comes through, hits him with the cocoon, and there's first blood right over to Chaser after a little bit of over-aggression from Crown. Whoops.
It's really nice wraparound gank. Oh,
Kube comes in, locks up Pure. Ambition right there, but Pure should be able to get away.
Look at those discrepancies in levels. Level 6 Ambition, just level 3 Pure, but he skips away. Inner turret's taking a bit of battering.
Yeah.
Should be okay. Maokai's going to be second to react, so Samsung's definitely going to get the damage advantage onto these inner turrets.
Core JJ doing plenty of this tier 2 in bot lane.
But he picks up the wave eventually. I really like the pathing from Chaser. They had the exact timer of the flash for Crown. You know, he blew it very early after the first gank. Comes with a wraparound before flash could be available again. They pocket the kill. Nice play from Longzhu.
Yeah. Well, Crown, it was just weird to kind of see him go all in like that on the Varus.
With Chain of Corruption down, he has really few defensive options, as we know, with flash down as well. So
I mean, you know Jace is going to cleanse that right away. You know what summoner spell they have. So surprising to see Crown kind of be so overeager.
I mean, hindsight's always 20/20. You might think, okay, I know he'll cleanse it, therefore I'm going to get a cooldown advantage, because the cooldown of cleanse is a lot longer than the cooldown of the Varus ultimate, but good wraparound timing from Chaser. World's most straightforward gank onto a Varus. Nice play from Longzhu.
Easy stuff, that's right. Fury trying to steal this blue buff away, misses the phosphorus bomb, doesn't get it.
Ambition has to smite and auto attack it though, so it doesn't go over to Crown, which is a mini win from Longzhu anyway, since that means less guaranteed long range wave clear because of mana cost issues for Varus. Get Coco ahead. He's got the blue buff against a no blue buff enemy who's just died. Both summoners are up crucially though for Varus, but snowballing with a Jace has always been the story of this pick. It's always going to be most powerful in the mid game, and these are some tools to help get Coco ahead.
Yeah, this is exactly what Coco needs as far as the start goes. I suppose he didn't get the first blood, but it's pretty close. Got the assist anyway. I have more standard lanes.
Juve happy to push up really aggressively. Honestly, this is reckless. You look at the mini-map, there's no vision whatsoever in that area, but he did just see the skirmishing happening at the enemy blue, so he can at least be fairly confident without being certain that he was under relative safety.
Pretty much. Able to push that lane up a little bit. Expansion should catch up in farm though.
So Fury's going to hit his 1 damage power spike earlier because he ignored the cull, but come the mid game, Core JJ should be that much further ahead with the bonus. So let's see if Trinity Force Corki can wind back the clock and make the big difference early. Should be early teamfight advantages over to Longzhu.
Yeah, I mean, with Corki having that little early power spike, that might help them keep kind of controlling the dragon.
Looking at the gold values, it seems like the gold lead for Core JJ is basically a cult, so they're basically even, but that will reset fairly soon.
Yep, oh, nice cocoon onto Kube right as he comes over the wall. It's a lot of damage. Kube uses the W, saves his ult, but Chaser taking a big chunk out of the Samsung top laner.
Chase is following the build that Jinair's jungler Winged made popular in terms of Sightstone and Skirmisher's Saber in particular, just to do really strong early game trades but not invest into
Whoa, Ambition caught up a little bit. Needs to be careful here.
Not invest into the Tracker's Knife. Seems like more and more junglers going back to the trusty Sightstone and wanting the damage amp of the Skirmisher's Saber.
Seems that way. Do you think it's a reflection of tanks kind of being the thing in the top lane again? They want their junglers to do a little bit more damage?
I think it's just one of those things where we're getting such...
Teleport coming in. They've caught Ambition. There's a kill for Coco. Nice shock blast to finish that one off. DP used by Expression. They're going to try to cut off Core JJ and Wraith on their way out. We'll see if they escape. I mean, there's no turret there.
Magical Journey also will cut off the retreats.
Yep, Magical Journey. Everybody's coming through it. Core JJ and Wraith right there. Nice pillar from Wraith actually to slow up Longzhu. That may actually save them. It does.
Expression tried to flash, but didn't get in range of the Twisted Advance, so a lot ventured by Longzhu for very little gain.
Yeah.
Already had the kill on Ambition. They could have just backed away, reset their lanes, been fine, but got a little bit too feisty, and in the end, over-pursued.
Did set them up for a dragon, though. So they'll at least be able to get something out of this.
Be a second dragon, they can claim it.
Yeah, it's not bad. I take it.
Don't clear the pink ward, but timer will be incidental anyway, given the global notification. But as you mentioned, second dragon for Longzhu.
Yeah. Lane's not a big concern either. But again, you know, the big story is Coco gets another kill on that Jace. And we know when he gets rolling on this Jace what he can do. Let's watch this again. Ambition, no Mad Life to save him. How many times have we seen it?
Surprisingly few in 2016, you have to say, though. This was
Historically, though,
this is definitely a return to form of ambition.
that was a very ambition play. That's true. Yeah.
With Thresh out of the meta, you can't do that, mate.
Yep. Saw it a lot on CJ. And he was better about it so far this season, but you still see those habits come in again for ambition. Just going into the enemy jungle to farm a little bit, getting caught, getting killed.
But there's a mark of the Kindred there.
Yep.
That just tells the enemy where you want to be farming.
Baited by the Kindred mark.
Farah will wait to see when the timing is for that. Increasingly seen it pre-20 minutes. Famously picked up a 14-minute Devourer earlier this season, did Ambition. So that'd be nice.
Yeah, it's good farming.
Won't be this game, though. Just back to the map play. Longzhu in a really good spot. They've got the Maokai for the instant teleport flanks, although the Sandra can do that as well, but crucially having the Dragon advantage and the pressure advantage in mid. If they just had a farm fest between Jace and Varus, you'd take Varus every time just because he's more flexible in his identity in the late game, but if Coco can get far enough ahead, and with 2 kill involvements, he's certainly on the way, the mid-game power from Longzhu will be immense.
True. For now, though, kind of a lull in the action as the teams just keep all their lanes pushed. Pure slowed down a little bit. He really wanted that ward, and the magical journey gets him to safety. That's Bard.
Yeah, Bard's actually one of the best picks against Trundle just because you can magical journey through everything, whether it's terrain or actually just the Trundle pillar. Any terrain is fine for Pure to navigate, so able to be more aggressive than any other support in that scenario.
I was wondering if he wanted to come in from the side, but be a little bit too risky.
Okay, so showing a lot of pressure in mid. They'd love to blow the flash of Crown or pick up a kill ideally if they can.
Yeah, they've already gotten one in there, and you can see since then Crown has been playing much, much safer in that lane.
Longzhu have profited. They've got second Rift Herald to go along with the 2 dragons they picked up. So picking up neutrals, they'd love to get the mid out of tower. If they could get that turret down suddenly, push up the wards, allow Maokai some flank vision.
Well, they just gave the Rift Herald buff to Coco, so I think they're thinking the exact same thing, Papa's.
Operation send people
down.
mid.
Yeah. They want that mid turret out of the way.
This does show their hand. Basically says Operation dive Crown where possible. See if they also let Crown just pick up the blue buff, because remember, he hasn't had one this game yet. Expecting mirror builds. Was the rush on the Ghostblade for immediate power from Crown, but in a world where the more Malmort is a little bit less higher priority, because we usually see Varus against other magic damage mid laners, the Ghostblade makes much more sense as a rush.
Yep, that is true. And Longzhu really having a lot of good pressure on the map right now against Samsung. We expected Samsung to come into this with the edge, but so far so good, and a lot of that is because of Coco's Jace.
Yeah. Jace is the more proactive version of Varus. Honestly, they're 2 sides of the same coin.
True. Very similar.
But you have the jungle advantage, once again, the pressure advantage of Elise, so pressure mid laner with pressure jungler, and this should be the result if played well, and Longzhu have indeed played well.
Yeah. Wow, nice damage on the ground. Fury, though, taking a lot himself, just gets caught trying to take out the mid lane turret. Longzhu can't really afford to have that happen too often.
It's been kind of a recurring story from Fury. He's been poor.
Yeah.
The Jin series we remember him from a few weeks ago was putrid and got caught by the chain of corruptions and burst down. Mistake of his own.
A Wraith trying to come from the side, takes a lot of damage, but Samsung doing a lot to that mid lane turret. Expression comes in onto Cuvée. There's a nice tempered fate, blocking some people up. Are they gonna make it happen? Coco doing a ton of damage. Look at that. Cuvée has to ult himself. I can't imagine he's gonna live through this. Oh, he's low. He actually gets out on the E. Cuvée can't have more than 50 health right now.
Coco just had to respect the fact that there was multiple different members alive from Samsung. Couldn't go as Rambo as he wanted to in a 4v5 scenario. Close but no cigar. The League of Legends story.
That was very close. Yeah.
For Coco.
Especially no cigar.
Tries to find.
Fishing for low health members of Samsung.
Sitting on so much gold as well. 2,100 gold.
Yep. Go back and spend it.
There's power spikes and there's what Coco will have assembled. We're going to see the replay. Just watch Fury. Just doesn't respect the chain of corruption, dies. Simply.
Yep, just gets caught by Varus' ultimate, and there's not a lot you can do. Then, so close for Longzhu to get a kill here.
So many low health members. We watch this extended replay. The re-engage from Expression was on point. I love the Bard ultimate. Look at that 3-man Bard ultimate. But just not quite enough damage. If he'd spent that 2,000 gold, would have been multiple kills for Coco.
Yeah. Akuve just barely gets back in there. Spends a little bit of time on the Lamb's Respite too, which I'm sure helped. Ground decides to turn the arrow on to Pier at the last second as he loses that pink.
Seems cruel when he's double the level of the Bard. Base stats not really there for Wraith or Pure this game. Wrath's from a different game.
That's right. So, yeah, those shock blasts are already starting to hurt, and they're only going to get more damaging for Coco. Dragon is up. Longzhu could try to claim their third.
But walk through these crevices towards the Dragon, walk through these chokes, and eat plenty of EQs from Coco, and perhaps it's a bridge too far for Samsung to compete for this Dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just going to be 3 unanswered Dragons for Longzhu at this point.
Releashes a little bit, but Academic, very early 3rd Dragon spike sack. Remember, we're talking about 31 minutes, it's a potential 5th Dragon, so in a really good spot. Longzhu really taking advantage of the team comp they've picked. And this is not something you can take for granted when it comes to Longzhu this season. They've drafted early game and played for the late game. They've drafted late game and played for the early game. They haven't necessarily been consistent. They've always been good mechanically because these are all strong mechanical players. But it's nice to see them play with the team comp they've picked for themselves.
Yeah, very true. This is one of the weird things about Longzhu, right? Is that you have games like this where everybody looks really good. Coco's on a comfort pick. And you wonder, you know, where is this team for all those other games?
But the only guarantee you have about Longzhu is that in 2 weeks' time, it'll be a different 5 players.
Yeah.
So momentum and teamwork is built playing as a unit. And we know, just on the champion stage, that unit has changed a lot as another taxidermied minion was chilling on the bot lane.
Yep, that's right. You can still see him on the minimap.
This is one of my favorite new hidden features, Doa.
It's... I haven't seen this hidden feature before today. I think well, maybe I saw it once, but it seems pretty new.
Hilarious, nonetheless. Ooh, CoJJ's backing an award.
Yeah, he's got ward there. Cosmic Binding. Oh, it doesn't quite reach, yeah. I was going to say, he walked up there, I'm like, I don't think that Q reaches that far, man.
If anyone would know, it's Pure, who's been a Bard one trick this season.
Been really good on the Bard, yeah.
Indeed.
Wishful thinking with that Q, though.
Optimistic. This game is a battle of long-range Qs.
Yep.
Man. Oh boy. Q damage certainly amping up. Gold lead completely absent though. Honestly, it's only the neutrals that Longzhu had to show for themselves because the gold lead is even between the two teams.
All right. Coco has that Muramana finish now. And that plus the Ghost Blade. Plus he's got a little bit of armor penetration. Yeah, Coco's in really good shape right now.
I honestly don't understand the armor penetration against a team that has no armor at all.
It does seem a little bit, yeah.
Like literally no armor.
I don't know.
Like not even a cloth armor.
See how it's useful it is. Whoa, Crown just gets destroyed.
Have you met Jace?
Coco has been activated.
I mean, Jace are also doing so much damage this early in the game, but the turrets also are deleted. You got 5 points, so 6 points in the Hyper Blast. Max the W first, and turrets die instantly.
Yeah, they do. They die very quickly. Meanwhile, Fury getting a lot of damage done on the tier 2 down in bot lane. JJ takes a lot. He's going to chase. Fury took a little bit of turret aggro for a moment, but here comes the rest of Longzhu, so JJ can't really stick around.
Coco continue to pressure. The big change this patch was about extra base damage on the Q, so if you ever get in hammer form, you're getting deleted. Varus certainly saw that firsthand.
Yep, that's right.
Look at Longzhu. They're playing a Jace comp perfectly.
Yeah, so far so good.
I have to feel like Longzhu will look back on this season about what could have been, because at so many points this season we thought that was the watershed moment. All right, they've worked it out. This is the 5, or they've got 2 groups of 5. This is amazing as we see the replay. Are you ready for some damage?
I mean, Coco was barely even a part of that. That was actually mostly Chaser, I think.
Skirmish Saber does strong things on the Elise, and then a little bit of burst from the Jace to secure the kill, we'll say.
Yep. Well, it's better he gets the kills in the end.
You know what I'm sad about, Doa? If he had not built this last Whisper, he could be very close to a Dusk Blade of Drakthar.
That's true. Do you think that's going to be the plan?
No. But
No?
wouldn't it be
Oh.
cool if it was?
It would. We haven't had enough Dusk Blade of Drakthar lately.
I mean, in the mid game, if you hit your full combo and auto attack, you would die. The Dusk Blade of Drakthar may even be over the top, but it certainly would confirm a kill. I'd love to see it. He's got a BF sword, so there's more than an outside chance.
Yeah, very true. Longzhu starting to push into the Samsung side of the map right now. Jeez. Taking off just a third of Crown's health with one shot.
Jace is such a swingy champion. These are the games where you're like, man, Jace is so strong, and then you think,
whoa, okay. Crown decided to face check a brush, I think, and that did not go well.
Interesting.
Didn't even use his ult there either. Tempered Fate misses Core JJ, good dodge. Pillar dropped, Longzhu still going to get this tier 2, and this has been a pretty one-sided game, hasn't it?
It's been a decimation of a Samsung team that looked to have it together with that win over Jin.
People are dying too fast on Samsung for us to even like see it happening.
Well, when everyone builds damage and one team's winning, this is the result.
Seems that way.
And the poke from both Corki and Jace under these turrets is immense. The map pressure is as one-sided as can be for 24 minutes. They're going to start walking towards Baron. They have a very fast Baron team.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they can just go for it. Taking the magical journey into the pit.
It's going to die real fast.
There's no real response for Samsung. They're trying to get there, but they may get there too late. Baron down to a third health already. Wraith can't be a support hero there, and Baron taken by Longzhu. But it gets out the magical journey once again. And the very quick, methodical dismantling of Samsung continues.
Worth knowing that the flexibility of Longzhu to take Baron is unique, even though Samsung have different comp. Oh,
Kube caught up. Gonna take a lot of damage. Can he make it out? Ults himself. Dodges a little bit of it. Gets hit with the cocoon immediately on the way back. Stays alive due to the Lamb's respite, though. Takes his E out of there. Wraith even taking a lot of damage from these shock blasts. But no kills in that little engage for Longzhu, at least.
Got the cocoon, but they couldn't find the kill. One thing I wanted to mention was because they have the Maokai up and not the Lissandra, Longzhu can always, if they had the pressure, kite back to Baron. Samsung, like the Rocks Tigers, cannot really look to pick up Baron, and even Dragonflights have proved themselves hard, and this is Baroned up, and now 4th Dragon Longzhu. It's not over, but might as well be, though.
Yeah, I mean, they have really taken everything. Only 1 kill and 2 turrets for Samsung. Let's watch this again. Yeah, Crown just walks into a brush.
I just
Ward there.
What is he doing? Like,
don't know.
he wasn't even full health when he walked into a brush. He had no vision of the enemy team. It was just bad.
It was definitely very dangerous.
There's ill-advised and there's YOLO. That was on the YOLO side.
Yeah, definitely a bad decision.
Oh, wow, the Mortal Reminder from Jace. Okay. Huh. I guess that works on Lissandra's self-heal when she ults. Kindred ult as well, so I don't mind it. We've seen more and more Mortal Reminder in recent weeks. Against Zillion, it's been an interesting option. How you doing there, Doa? You fading on me?
No, what? Totally fine.
It's good. It's good. It's a long night. Already had a really great series in the first one between the Rocks Tigers and KT. Looking like this first game at least is going to be echoing of game 1 of that series. It's looking like it's going to be on the short end.
Yeah, we'll see. You never know. Jace just exploding minions and exploding champions all over the place.
I just want to see the Dusk Blade, please. Though he could build whatever he wanted at this point.
He really doesn't need it. Wow, yeah, that's a mortal reminder right there.
Very mortal are all members of Samsung to this Jace. 2 auto attacks, half of itself. Crown also DPS'd out. This is just the Jace show.
It's just over. I mean, yeah, they gave Crown Jace, or they gave Coco Jace rather. He got early kills. He got the items. And this guy has been wrecking people on Jace for years.
But this is such a big thing for Coco. He's had, by his standards, a very poor season. As
whoa, look at that. Gets the Lamb's Respite used just by himself over the wall. Cocoon comes in, traps Ambition for a second. The cooldown not back up just yet. Coco is basically just 1v4ing people now.
He is the raid boss to end all raid bosses. Yeah, nothing Samsung can do.
Yeah. And there goes inhibitor number 2. And Longzhu looks to be closing this one out really smoothly.
To finish my point, Coco's had a really poor season. He was a top 2 mid laner in Korea last year. Looked very impressive on CJ. Kept together a CJ side that was definitely showing creaks at the seams when it came to some of their members. But this season's been poor. You know, Frozen, if anything, has looked maybe even slightly better than Coco, at least on great swaths of the season. But Jace getting buffs and then playing this confidence game where he can play the champion he's famous for, and having such a big performance is a big thing for Coco moving forward as a player.
Well, having just Jace as a ban now that needs to be thrown out against Longzhu if they keep winning like this is something that's going to be even better for the team. They can pick up more of those power picks.
It'd be massive if he could find a way to put it on the ban list. I'm not convinced of that just yet, but you know, a couple more echoes of this performance, and absolutely it will have to be heavily considered as a ban against Longzhu.
Well, if Samsung loses this game, which you'd think they would, being 9,000 gold down, would you ban Jace next game? I feel like it's not a bad idea.
I think that's a really situational question. If Varus is taken away too, I can understand it, but there's certainly a consideration to it. That much is without being said.
I mean, part of it too is Samsung has a pretty squishy team as well. So.
I didn't like the Lissandra last pick, honestly. It really hamstrung them because if you fall behind, everyone is literally being half health by Jace.
Yep. Yomu's popped the culling used by Core JJ to try to push his minion waves away. It doesn't really work out. They're still going to take the inhibitor turret. Chains of Corruption used. Crowd coming in for a lot of damage. Kube goes in, ults himself, and now Samsung turning this fight around. Longzhu playing it a little bit dangerously. Nice engage from Kube, and Samsung, they lose their turret. They win a little bit of a fight there. Meanwhile, though, those Nexus turrets are taking a ton of damage from the super minions.
Yeah, Samsung has so little breathing room. They have to go for these engagements wherever possible. They'll lose multiple base turrets. So
yeah,
you get plenty of reprieves when you play the first 25 minutes so well. So Longzhu, bit of a mistake, bit of an overstay. For some reason, Chaser was on the flanks, poking around rather than being the secondary frontliner. So Expression was damaged out. A couple of kills go over to Samsung, but nothing more to report.
I think it was just a good engage from Samsung too. Longzhu just was not expecting Kube to go in like that.
He still needs to finish the Zonias, then he will be just that much more reliable as an initiator. Didn't have to invest his teleport when he went for that last play, so maybe the chance for a teleport flank as Longzhu just returns top lane.
Yep.
First way popped.
Yep, gonna go after that inhibitor. Core JJ trying to push people off, but Expression just body blocking a lot of that ultimate.
Chase is back though. Should be able to get auto attacks in at least himself.
Decide to come in. Kube caught with the cocoon, trying to get back into the base now. Expression forces the ultimate. Coco doing tons of damage from the side. He could come in any moment now. There we go, the escape from Kube, and here comes Coco. Now it's the Jace show. There's a double kill. Can he grab the triple? He's gonna try. There it is. Oh no, it's taken by Pierre. Oh, he did get it. Okay, never mind. There's the ace, and that's gonna be a very quick game number 1 for Longzhu. Coco got Jace. That's what happens. GG.
Jace buffs a Coco buffs, Doa. That last fight when the Lamb's Respite was popped, you could see Coco licking his chops, thinking, oh boy, moment that's done, I'm getting in hammer form. He hammered them down, and Coco literally was a one-man army that Samsung, even with 5 members, had no answer to.
That was a very, very good game for Coco.
5-0-4, 100% kill participation. No Dustblade of Jakthar, but I'll give him a pass mark on this one.
Yep, and a good early game too from Chaser to help get Coco ahead. And I mean, Ambition, he's like, yeah, I've seen that one before.
I love.
Should have warned him.
And it's Ambition versus Coco. That was the story here, and it's Coco who takes the win for the ex-CJ players.
Yeah, so Longzhu, again, you know, they basically need to 2-0 all of their remaining series to have a chance at playoffs. So for now anyway, playoff hope's still alive for Longzhu, but that could all change next game. And Samsung with a good chance to come back. This is definitely a series that we could see go to 3 games.
If you're a Longzhu fan, every game is must-win for them this early in the season. With 2 weeks left, they still have to win every single game. But excellent performance in game one. It made a lot of sense. The draft was strong. They played to their win conditions. Well played, Longzhu.
That's right, so don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back for game number 2, Longzhu versus Samsung, right after this.